Name 5 celebrities who got their start in horror movies.
Jamie Lee Curtis, John Travolta, Demi Moore, Brooke Shields, and
MAXXXINE fucking mints.
Welcome to the Spooky Nerd Club, everyone. I'm your host, Ray.
And I'm your co-host, Torgo.
And today we're going to talk about the new movie, MAXXXINE, from Ty West. And we're just going to jump straight into it. We're going to give our review. And just to give everyone a heads up, this is going to be a spoiler review. We're going to just lay it all out there. I saw this on the 3rd, and I was actually kind of surprised that you told me that you left the theater when you went to go see it. Before we even get into the things that we dislike, let's just go right ahead and talk about some of the things that we did like about the movie. Mia Goth and the cast of the movie all, I think, like slayed their roles. I never felt like anyone was lacking in the acting department throughout the whole movie. Like they all overall, I think, did a fantastic job. Giancarlo Esposito, badass character. I honestly will watch a spinoff of his character, like just dealing with clients during that time in LA. I think that would be kind of dope, actually. You can see him like dealing with porn stars, see him dealing with actresses in the business, him being a gangster like that, the way he handled some things. It was kind of surprising, but why would it be? It's fucking Esposito, you know what I'm saying?
If I tell you something, we've got confidentiality.
What'd you do?
I also like the time period of the 80s of the film. It felt very spot on, and I feel like Ty West did a great job in creating that world that MAXXXINE lived in. When MAXXXINE fucked up that guy in the alleyway, I was not expecting that at all, and I felt like once we saw that, MAXXXINE was literally about to take Hollywood by the balls. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was cool to see like a post-Final Girl film, which we don't really see that often. Those are just a couple things that I think about this film that I like.
I loved that it was set in the 80s. I think that Ty West always does a really good job at like capturing the eras that he does. The cast, I think, was fantastic as well. I think they all did really well together, but then I think obviously Mia Goth killed it like always.
She can't do no wrong.
She can't. She's so good. She's so good.
You're a fucking movie star.
So like the one in the alley that you were talking about, that part was crazy. That's about it, to be honest, Ray.
That's fine. If that's how you feel, that's completely fine. You know, there's a lot of things that I will say, you know, I don't think overall the production of the movie was bad. I don't think the editing was bad. I don't think anything like tech-wise was bad besides some story points. And we'll get into that right now. To me, this movie, it just felt like it needed another pass of notes. They definitely had to like talk about this a little more and flesh out kind of the ending, because the climactic scene where MAXXXINE's father was about to like brand her with that pentagram, it just made me feel like she gave up too easily during that scene. And she just accepted fate, because I just look at MAXXXINE as like a fighter, so it felt kind of out of character for her. I thought it would have been cool if she just distracted her father with like the monologue she auditioned with like earlier in the film. I think it would have showed her as like an active hero and show off like her strongest power, basically, you know, being an actress, that she's a star. Then maybe, you know, her father believing her monologue could have like stopped him long enough for the cops to like swoop in. I think that would have made it a little less anticlimactic, you know? What did you think about that?
It felt like it was like unsatisfying. Like there was no like, I don't know. I was like left wanting more for sure, I think.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting a happy ending, honestly. You know, you usually get happy endings with like Marvel movies and stuff like that. And this is supposed to be a horror movie, so it just didn't feel very horror-ish.
It did not feel like a horror movie at all.
And just one thing that bothered me a lot with this is because, you know, I'm a Giallo fan, and this film had a lot of Giallo elements to it, but I feel like they only paid homage to like the Giallo look of the killer, and they didn't really give us like a great whodunit type of mystery. I think that's the whole reason why I feel like a lot of people do love Giallo films, because we constantly are guessing throughout the whole movie who can potentially be the killer. And Giallo films just give you like this sense of mystery I didn't feel that we got from this film at all. You know what I mean? Like I never was on my edge of the seat, like wondering what was gonna happen next, because just things felt like it was very easy to figure out. Also with Giallo films, there's so many twists and turns in a lot of these movies that the ending is always really surprising, and a lot of them are great.
You're like all the rest of them.
That's her.
And Maxine just didn't make us guess at all throughout the whole film. Like I said, we can pinpoint who the killer was maybe within the first like 20 minutes of it. Just put us on a goose chase a little more, you know?
Yeah.
And we didn't get none of that. Like Kevin Bacon showed who his character was. Like I guess if we didn't know so much information that he gave out to Maxine at that little meeting that they had, we probably could have like believed that maybe he has something to do with it, or maybe he would have just been like a police officer that was investigating from the town wherever X was taking place. We didn't have to see him being like involved with, you know, the Night Stalker or whatever. Like overall it looked amazing and it was great. I just didn't feel nothing. I didn't feel nothing at all, and that's the whole point of like going to these theater experiences, I like to think, you know. I was just waiting for something and I just didn't really care, you know.
Well, I feel like they didn't even give us a chance to really question who it was, or like once it did come out to be her father, it like didn't give us a chance to like have any opinion about that, because then it just ended, you know. Like there was no time to really get excited about anything or care about anything. I felt like I just wanted more in all aspects of the movie.
I think that's the majority viewpoint from a lot of people online so far. It's just people expected it to go a whole different direction than what we got. And maybe that could be a good thing. But at the same time, it's like, don't like sprinkle us with like these assumptions that the movie is going to be, and then when it releases we're kind of like, we just didn't get any of that really. And like I'm not even mad at Ty West about it, it's just some of the story points to me were just a little whatever.
I think like because Maxine is such a badass in all the other movies, I don't think it makes sense that this is the finale, because she didn't get a badass ending.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't have a chance to do that really at all this movie, you know?
That's why I thought, like, the scene in the alley when she smashed that dude's nuts, I was like, oh, she's about to get it in this movie. Like, it's...
yeah.
That was the only time throughout the movie where I felt, like, some kind of emotion, where I was like, ugh. Like, maybe because it was a nut smash, and I was just like, ugh. But, you know, I felt something, like, I got a little excited. I was like, all right, we're about to really get into this. Like, we're gonna see some crazy shit. But no, the kills from the Night Stalker were whatever.
Not a fan of that at all. I don't want classy. I want it to be gory. I want it to be like badass female character that she is. The best kill of the whole movie was at the very beginning, and then there was nothing else. I don't know.
From 1 to 5, where do you rank it?
2.
A 2? Ooh, that's harsh. I'll just give it a 3.5 the most. I'll leave it at that. I still think it's a good movie. I just don't think it's the movie we wanted.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I don't think it's the movie we wanted. And as a whole, from the trilogy, X, Pearl, Maxine, I would put Maxine last, then I would put X, and then I would put Pearl as number 1. I think Pearl is the best of the 3. How do you rank that?
I mean, it's kind of like tit for tat for me because I loved Pearl and X, but I would say I liked X a little bit better, I think. Okay. I don't know. Like the time period, like the 7, I always like that, so I think that's my favorite.
So you'll go straight in the order that they came out in?
Yeah, straight in order.
Let us know what you think in the comments. If you like this movie, please let Horror Girl know why she should watch this again. And yeah, if you could please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We appreciate all of the support. And until the next video, see you all soon.